There we go. Oh, why is Oliver spotlighted? I'm going to remove you, Oliver, and add. Oh, Raymond. Have we just lost Raymond? He's just come out. He's just dropped out by mistake.
I'm still there.
Are you still there? You're not in my list of participants. Where have you gone from the list? Daniela, can you see Raymond in your list?
I'm looking. Hold on.
Perhaps you can spotlight yourself, Raymond. I can't see you in my list. Oh, there you are. I found you.
Okay.
There we are again. Yes, good. It's worked. Excellent.
Okay.
Remove Daniela.
Thank you for all the information I've got now before. I'm very impressed. I feel a little bit ashamed to make my presentation just with the small homeopathic situation here from Luxembourg. And I try to share my presentation. Will it work? I hope so.
Not yet.
Not yet?
I'll tell you when.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so we have already one first problem, which should work. I try again. Sorry. It should normally is desktop one.
If you need me to share, I can.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Then. Yeah.
And then just tell me when you need to switch.
Yes, fine. That's
slides.
easier. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So thank you to have the opportunity to tell something about Luxembourg. So I have also two hats, like Daniela said before. I even have more, but now in this case I have two. One is I'm board member and founder of the ECG Luxembourg, and also also employee and director in Greenpeace. So I talked to my colleagues that would be a good idea to make certification and the balance. And so we went through a process to a peer review with other companies. And perhaps you go ahead.
Yeah. Is it working?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So just one or two slides to our organization, Eco-Good Organization Luxembourg, founded in 2019 with about 15 people. And our goal is clear. I think everybody knows that we want to promote ECG in Luxembourg. And so we are starting very, very slowly with first memberships. And you heard before, we had about 10 years ago, the first company certified in Luxembourg. That's also where I got in contact with Christian Felber at that time. And so then we tried to establish more and more. And so we succeeded now with Greenpeace and our peer group, where I'm just telling it afterwards. And as we saw before, it takes time when you are in puberty, and we are also there even a little bit before. We have to build up our structure, how memberships is working, all these kind of things. We heard already about it, how you have to professionalize it in the next years. So the next one. So we have at the moment in Luxembourg members, about 9. Some of them are certified. We have 2 communes, the municipalities. The third biggest of Luxembourg, certified now 1 month ago. Then the second one, then we have companies in advising, IT, historical consulting is also consulting in public relation. Then we have a company doing Eco-Good certification, Greenpeace. Then we have Ecopolis, we heard before, the biggest one. And then you see also the 3 one where we made our peer group with Aenderkerk, is a advising company in energy politics and energy techniques, about 20 people working there. Naturbaustoff is a company who just is selling ecological building material. And then we have the Ville de Differdange, that's the city of Luxembourg. in Luxembourg, third biggest city, and then we have Greenpeace Luxembourg as local Greenpeace office. Okay. This was now the last presentation we had 1 month ago with Christian, where we presented our peer group results. And that is what I want to tell some experiences we had in this peer group. Why did we make a peer group? Everybody of these companies had limited budgets. Besides City of Differdange, they made their certification with an advisor, with a consultant, and the 3 other one we did it together. So that was 1 point, the budget, and then we followed plus minus the not Italian model, so the more German DACH model that we were working together in the peer group physically. We met at least 6 times to different subjects. We prepared the meetings. Then we started already to make a report, and we had 2 advisors. You see down before Lara Frisch and Georg Waltersdorfer. And Georg, he was very encouraged to design an own tool for registration, like in Germany. I forgot the name. Good Balance. And so he made his own tool, and we were testing it now by using it in the peer group and for the documentation. Yeah. Then you see our result of the matrix. Yeah, and you see a little bit where we are, so it's just enough. We have a little bit more. This is the this is the French version, you see. No, this is the French version of the matrix, and we are in Luxembourg, and in our peer group was working in 3 languages. So we were working in English, and then we were translating it in French for our website and for our report at Greenpeace. And then we are also communicating in Luxembourg and in German. So we were communicating in 4 languages to end up with our results for everybody. So it was possible, but we are a little bit used to this kind of working in Luxembourg. Okay. Just a few points to share experiences, and we heard some about before. You find out a lot of things about your company. First of all is what is the meaning of this sentence? What is the meaning of this word? And then also in 3 languages, and we had really a lot of discussion. What is really the meaning, and what we should put in the report. That was one time eating factor parameter, and so what we struggled through, and you see the different points I mentioned here, where we were just struggling a little bit. For example, co-determination. We were working now at Greenpeace just with 3 employees. We are 18. We have also a board. We are an association. We are a foundation and an association. We have about more than 9,000 donors and supporters. And so how do we implicate them in our process? So we have different things and different methods and opportunities to communicate interactively with our supporters. But we found out we can do more, and most of the things is also to documentate things more systematically. For example, and then when we are looking to the employees, okay, we have work-life balance, very flexible working hours, and this kind of things. I think it's quite normal in ESG companies that you are very flexible with your employees, and also that you are sharing more responsibility. Okay. Okay. Customers, yeah, we were really thinking and discussing in the peer group, what does it mean, customers for Greenpeace? So for our meaning, it's clear this is our supporters, our donors, and so we try to fill in our templates in perspective of this definition. Then, for example, we are not selling stuff, but we have some goodies. So we are trying really to find the most ecological, social, fair trade products when we are buying in stuff. Then our footprint we want to minimize. It's also at Greenpeace in general that every company is making CO2 balance, the documentation, and so we found out some processes are already quite good at Greenpeace, and some we have to improve. Yes. So that was nearly everything. This is the last slide. So we know what we have to do in the next time, and we thought, we are a foundation. We are also well purpose orientated, and when you know Greenpeace, you think everything is okay. But despite all this, we find out that we still have lacks, especially in internal organization and processes in making decisions, for example, and in communication. That will be the next challenge for us for the next balance and for the next review. And I think this should be not the peer one, but it should be which should be done by an auditor. And I'm so impressed by now the new labeling and this kind of things. I think it brings up a lot of questions in which framework we are working now on improvements. So that's the end of my presentation. And as you see, Christian, he was with us for the presentation of this peer group results. And I like very much this picture because you see when you're looking very well, you see the Aristoteles hat on his leg, and I think it's very symbolic. This picture was made by my colleague who was working on the matrix as well, and I think it's a nice picture to close my presentation. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you, Raymond. That was really clear. Are there any questions from the audience?
Yes, there are questions in the chat already.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look. Are your Greenpeace members also customers?
We have Greenpeace is supported only by customers, by private persons. We have it's forbidden that we take money from state, from companies, even from ecological companies like we saw Völkel now, which is a very good one, or Ecopolis. We are not taking money from any company and from any municipalities. All the money is coming from private person, and we have a budget of about 1.5 million euros a year. And with this budget, we pay our 17, 18 people and our campaigning.
Yeah, great. And then Oliver has a comment. He says he's actually relieved that even Greenpeace has a moderate E3 rating.
Yeah.
And then like a wink.
We are human beings.
Yeah. And you mentioned that the scores seem harsh in some areas. Yeah,
it's now I must say also that this peer group was not also done by all of the people in our company. We heard it also before that it's even when you are only 18, you have quite a stressy job at Greenpeace, I must say, in communication, fundraising, and we just had a delegation of 2 other people and me for this peer group. and it was very tough to find all the informations about our suppliers, energy, water, mobile providers, and all these kind of things. So we are really at the beginning, but we know the next time where to have a look, where to have a better look.
Yeah, thank you. There was a question actually in the panel discussion that we didn't get to earlier. I can't remember who raised the question, but it was asking about the balancing. So this is for Greenpeace Luxembourg. Does each country of Greenpeace, does each country kind of association, do they choose themselves whether to do the balance or not?
Yeah.
And are there other elements that are also picking this up?
The Germans were the first. They decided that for themselves. Then the second one was the Swiss one. I communicated with them before, and then it was for me clear that we should do it. We were just waiting for it to find time to do it. And to the colleague who is now since 2 years with Greenpeace, and so he took over the whole reduction and formulation of the report. And you can find the report on our website. It's also more it's a better layout than a normal Word document. It was made internally by our communication and people in communication, so you can see it, but it's in French.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then very last question, Louisa, you have your hand raised. I'm just going to spotlight you.
Thank you for giving me the floor. Raymond, thank you for your presentation. It was very important for me. I also sit on the board of Greenpeace Mexico. I'm the specialist on finance, so we share the same pains. And so, but it was very interesting to hear how you are connecting with the economy for the common good. And I would like to ask you a little bit more, if you could share, how can we do the same thing in Mexico? Because as I'm sure you know, we've struggled a lot to grow the economy for the common good. But I have this chance to kind of invite them or involve them. So how do I start? Help us, please.
Yeah, I can do that. I think we can stay in contact, and we can find the time to make a Zoom, and we can discuss about that. No problem.
That'll be great. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Yay.
Welcome.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you, both of you. And I'll pass the floor back to Daniela for a wrap up and closing. So thank you so much, Raymond.